So, so obviously today I came online for a reason, and that is basically to discuss learning in the lockdown. So the lockdown hasn't been easy on a lot of people, obviously. Um, Especially a lot of people are overlooking the kind of psychological damage it has caused to people, and not everybody is dealing with it in a very productive way. And there are a lot of things you can do to handle that well. All right. So, for starters, everybody is sort of living in this denial that nothing is going to change, everything will be back to normal post the COVID crisis, and the fact is that it is not. All right. The world, as you know, has changed. Whether you accept it or not, living in denial is not going to help people, and that denial is actually creating a problem which is referred to as executive dysfunction. I don't know if you have experienced it or not, but it's basically you being unable to do stuff that you can generally do without getting tired, without getting annoyed. It's really taking a toll on you. You cannot structure your day, you cannot do your work. You do a small task, you feel completely drained out and weary, and it stresses you out. And obviously, depression and other things log on to this, and it becomes an avalanche of negative emotions that you are continuously drowning in. And the first thing that you can probably into factor temporary, and this is going to happen, and just get out of that mode of denial. All right, things are happening and they will happen. What you need to focus on is what is in your control. All right, the factor of locus of control. Where does control lie? Are you in control of the situations, or are there situations that are outside your control? So you take logical account of what you can control and what you cannot. All right, for a lot of people I know, they see this as a completely out of their control situation, and it is not so. In fact, this crisis is a huge opportunity for people to do things that they initially never had the time to. It's like the entire world has been put on pause. It's like if you thought you were in a rat race, don't worry, the rat race is on pause right now. Nobody's getting ahead of you because you are not putting in work. All right, everybody is on pause. So this is your time to take out time and learn skills that you otherwise wouldn't have time to learn or put time and effort into. All right, whether it's picking up old hobbies that you have let go of because of work and responsibility. Not that work and responsibility is going to vanish, but now you have time. Like, even if you're working now, like I am, you're still saving on the 4 to 5 hours of needless traveling that you are putting in daily, and now you can use that time to learn something new. All right, there are lots of certification courses which are available online. There are lots of books to read. Kindle is not dead. Online PDFs are not dead. YouTube tutorials are not dead. Professional online tutorials are not dead. Keep learning. This is a brilliant time for you to take time out and learn. All right. Lots of my friends in the media are doing courses that they otherwise never got time to do earlier. A lot of them have got like multiple certifications right now, which is a damn good thing to do, because this is how you use this time. Everybody is on pause. Use it to make yourself better. Right? Use this time to construct yourself. All right? Focus on yourself. And I know it's tough because mentally you're in probably a fucked up zone, and that's valid, but there's a trick to getting out of that mental fucked up zone. Like, I myself suffer from manic depression, but there's a way to handle it. You can never cure it, there's a way to handle it, and that is what you do. For me, the trick is working out. As long as I keep my body active, my brain doesn't go into a deep dive down. So I make sure I work out twice a day. Yeah, during the lockdown, I'm working out twice a day. Like, in the afternoons, I'm doing combat drills, which is Muay Thai and stuff. In the evening, I'm doing my strength training. And one of the best ways to get yourself to do this stuff, that's a fact. Very, very, very few people actually have the motivation and drive to put yourself through a grind every day. That is not going to happen. Okay, scheduling is one thing. Yes, it can help you. If you have a certain amount of will, you can create a schedule and stick to it and make sure you get through that and do it. But the best way to do it is have a social circle online that does the same with you on a designated time every day. So my training sessions, I train with my Bombay MMA team, which is Team Relentless, with Coach Jitendra Khare, Tushovan, Vishnu Warrior, a bunch of people who have the same kind of focus. So we all get together and train online using Zoom on a daily basis. All right. And this works because you have given others time and others have given you time. So there's a sense of responsibility you owe them and they owe to you, which is why you don't bail out and bunk. Everybody is there at the same time. If you leave it to yourself, trust me, you're going to be like, oh fuck, not now, after this Netflix series, after this, after that, and you are stuck in that rut endlessly. You're not going to get out of that. Commit to that time with peers or with friends and get there and get it done. That is the only way you're going to stick to that schedule and do it. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. All right. Second thing is learning. Okay, which I spoke about a lot initially. But how do you get it done is the question. All right. Because it's one thing to talk about things and plan things, and it's a completely different thing to do it. All right. Create a journal. Create a book. All right. Write it down. Write down what you're going to do. Set small achievable goals for yourself. For example, I completed the Facebook Blueprint course. I completed the Google online marketing course. And I did not just take up the course and like, oh, I will do this. No, I designated myself chapters and modules to do on a daily basis. For example, I will finish 10 modules today. Okay. And once I tick that off my list, you cannot randomly just think that you will do a course and you're not going to complete it. This is not like school where you have a timetable assigned to you and you have to follow it. So left to you, you are not very few people are actually capable of self-management. That level of discipline is very, very tough. It is achievable. A lot of people do it but the loads of things are absolutely recklessly stupid. Completely normal. It's completely human to do that. So create a book and write down your notes. Use that same book to write down your notes, because the more you write, the more you remember. All right. Also use this time to explore modules of earning and modules of changing your business or re-evaluating your businesses that you make it better. Is on pause. This is a great time for you to think how you can better things, or how you can now social interaction in, for example, to do online meetups. You have academies which for so long were totally not about going online, and now suddenly they are realizing that a lot of their courses can actually go online. For example, nutrition is a course that does not require you to sit in a regular class and learn. It is something that can be done online as long as you're reading, writing, studying, have a lecturer to listen to, and an exam that you can give. It's a course that can entirely be done online. So there's no reason to hold it off. Similarly, there are a lot of personal development skills that can be done online that do not require actual physical brick and mortar space. A lot of gyms were initially, like a lot of trainers were initially very adamant about not being online. I am one of them. I still do not take strength training classes online, because for strength training you need to watch form and technique. All right. But there are a lot of basics that can be covered online. Like basic skills can be taught online through tutorials, videos, and this is a great time to explore that or do that. If you are someone who gave up a passion a long time ago, this is a beautiful time to get back to it. Like I know people who absolutely loved drawing, got into something totally different, and haven't touched a pencil or a paintbrush in years. Forget years, they haven't touched it since they got out of college. That's like decades now, literally, like my peers. So finally the lockdown gave them a chance to like at least do something about it, draw a little, doodle a little. Obviously, the skills are not as great as they were back then, but this is a great time to explore it and get back into it. All right. A lot of struggling actors who had never developed a monologue reel for their showcase or for their auditions. Like, I have a bunch of friends who are in that zone, and now these guys have multiple audition reels that cater to every genre. So I advised a friend of mine to pick up a favorite monologue or a dialogue or a scene from his favorite movies spanning across genres and go in front of the camera, act. So next time somebody asks you to send in an audition reel online, you just mail that across and it's done. Again, a lot of took their businesses online or never learned to self-market it. They always relied on somebody else to market it for them. This is a great time to learn to market your own stuff yourself. For example, if you make cakes or some stuff, if you are into art and design, this is a great time to learn how do you put it across. Learn content marketing. The courses are out there, the skills are out there. You learn it. Learn photography. Click photos of yourself working out if you're a trainer. Use that as a content on your blog, on your Instagram, on whatever you want to do. Right? So that is how you actively use the lockdown time. It is not completely a downside. There is an upside to it, provided you decide to take control of it. Break it down into little parts which are manageable to you. Do not get overwhelmed by the stuff that is out of your control, and tackle it one thing at a time. A daily schedule works wonders to discipline yourself into doing things one little thing at a time. Do not get bogged over by putting yourself to achieve such great goals that you cannot reach them. That will just push you down even further. So break it down, take it one day at a time, break down stuff, achieve it, take it off, do it, take it off, and most importantly, have some time that you leave for yourself to have fun. Do not create a schedule so tight that it just becomes work and stress. That's the last thing you want. Recreation is as important as anything else. For me, my recreation is drawing and working out and sometimes PlayStation, and I juggle it all. I'm doing it all currently, and a lot of people are doing that. And the problem is, if you only do that, eventually it's going to get to your brain. You're going to get bogged down. Oh fuck, how am I supposed to make money? How am I supposed to do this? How am I supposed to do that? And that will lead you away. So create a balance of things, chart it down, write it down, maintain a journal if you can, and it should be manageable for everybody. Another important thing I wanted to connect on this was people completely getting off diet on this lockdown phase. That most people, I agree, yeah, it can be tough. You can go completely bewildered and end up going off diet and say fuck it, I will eat anything and everything, and then putting on a pile of weight. But there's a psychological factor to eating. All right, so your leptin and ghrelin hormones are very, very, very powerful in determining your sense of well-being. All right, the more it goes off balance, the more lethargic you feel. All right, the more lethargic you feel, the more depressed you feel, and once you're trapped in that rut, then you want to again eat more. When you again eat more, again the hormones are disbalanced, again you feel groggy, weary and tired and depressed, again you want to eat more, and that cycle is endless. So the only way you can break that cycle is by pushing yourself to follow a proper healthy diet. And it is not impossible right now. All right, you are not strenuously working out, right? You are not forced to like order meals or skip meals because of work. You are at home. Cook healthy meals. Get a nutrition plan from a good dietitian. Do not go to a dietitian, I'm sorry. Go to a nutritionist. Yeah, I am not very pro dietitian. So a nutritionist can advise you on what to eat, right? And follow that. Like I have a client who actually conquered his diabetes and lost weight and got fitter and healthier during the lockdown. The only thing is he did was followed the diet plan I had given him. And it is possible. I myself have not put on a single pound of weight throughout the lockdown. Okay? because I'm working out twice a day. I'm following my diet regularly. I was off diet for about a week, and after that I have been on diet every single day. And when I say on diet, does not mean, oh, I'm counting all my macros point to point and stuff. No, I'm just eating healthy meals, avoiding trash food, and keeping a count on my meals. All right. So I follow a diet where I eat only 2 meals a day. It's mostly ketogenic, so I do not get hungry all the time. I eat balanced foods. I make sure my protein content is high, and it would be a long, completely different chapter to explain this, but yeah, make sure you have enough of your essential nutrients and do not binge out on trash. Yeah, coughing suddenly seems so paranoid right now, right? Yeah, so do not binge out on trash and try to eat sensibly. Eat healthy, eat good, eat a lot of proteins, eat a lot of healthy meals, cut out sugar because sugar creates a crash. Do not purposely get addicted to caffeine, just keep you caffeine high. I use a lot of caffeine, but I use it strategically. Like if I'm on a downer day, only then I will use caffeine. Otherwise I generally do not use caffeine to push myself up, because once you create that loop, you keep falling in that rut, and it is a pure downhill cycle from there on. If you make it a habit to regularly eat healthy, it won't backfire on you ever, right? People, a very nice quote from my MMA coach: there is no beast mode, there's just grinding at it daily. And that applies to everything. That applies to work, that applies to life, that applies to dieting, that applies to workout, everything. People think, oh, I will crash diet for a fucking month, I'll get amazing results, this and that, blah blah blah, and then post that month they are back to being a buffalo or unhealthy, however they were, whatever. So yeah, I don't give a shit about being politically correct. So if you become a buffalo, you are a buffalo. I fucking call you a buffalo. So yeah, if you maintain a discipline, if you regularly eat daily, if you regularly put off the temptation to eat trash, I'm not saying do not ever fucking eat a chocolate waffle. Of course eat a chocolate waffle. I gorge on chocolate waffles. But then account for it and then compensate for it accordingly. If you have eaten healthy 28 days in a fucking month, you can gorge out 2 days in a month. Nothing is going to stop you from that. And that is how you need to live. Not all foods are fucking bad and not all foods are fucking good. There's no absolutes in this world. Alright? Everything follows a pattern. And in that pattern, you need to balance out what is good and bad for you and how much are you going to indulge in what. And if you are indulging, be aware of the consequences of it. Right? So that is pretty much all I have to say about maintaining yourself and keeping yourself healthy and happy during the lockdown, and using this positively rather than as an all-out negative phase. To recap the whole thing: schedule your day, plan your day, take it one step at a time, do not get overburdened with information, break down your days in bits and schedule what you want to do throughout the day. It'll make work and life much easier for you, right? Secondly, use this time to learn and grow in ways you never earlier had the opportunity to do because of the lack of time or whatever. Do it right. Loads of courses online, loads of mentors, loads of guides you can connect to, learn, read books, make yourself a better version of yourself during the lockdown. And when the lockdown ends, or whenever we get out of this zone, it should be a version 2.0 of you, 2.0 of yourself, which is better, bigger, better, greater than you were before. So that is 2. And 3 is give importance to recreation. Alright? And recreation means recreating yourself. It does not just mean randomly indulging in shit. Do not Netflix the fuck all day. Okay? Recreate yourself, work out, do things you like, explore old hobbies, explore new hobbies, do something productive that you enjoy and make it a daily part of your life. And even beyond this lockdown, try to maintain that mindset where at least for an hour a day you do something that is just pleasurable for you and does not have any agendas attached to it, right? It will keep you mentally sane for a long time. There's a Buddhist philosophy called nothingness, and it really applies here. right? You need that zone for yourself where you are just doing nothing, because if you're constantly thinking agendas or what will I gain out of that, what will I achieve out of this, you are putting yourself up for failure. Okay. And the last, fourth and most important thing what I ended my conversation with is eat healthy. It affects your mood, it affects your lifestyle, affects your body, it affects everything. More than working out, it's your diet that determines how your body feels and how much fat you put on or lose. Diet is literally everything. So eat healthy. I'm not saying go on a very strict diet. Like, this is one of the worst times to go on a very strict diet, all right? Because you're anyways going to be mentally challenged due to the traumas around. Bodybuilders and people extremely into fitness, definitely do not try weight cutting or ripping at that. This time will be extremely detrimental to your health, because you know what you're going to use to cut weight right now, and you do not want to use that shit in this scenario. Okay, completely be off steroids and pharmaceuticals at this phase of time, because it can really fuck you over, and then there will be no help to get you out of that zone. So stay healthy, maintain a balanced eating and fitness lifestyle that you can control, and keep yourself healthy and mentally well during this time. And when all of this is done right, I think this lockdown can turn out to be a very positive phase for everybody who's a part of this. And agar sar salamat to pagdi 50. Basically, if your head is safe, you can wear 100 turbans. So make sure you do that and stay safe, guys. Nice talking to you. And next time I have a talk, I'll try and ask questions in advance so that you can ask them in advance and I can clear them out for you. For those who did not know, I have a background in psychology. I just never got into counseling because I came from a really fucked up scenario, and at that point of time I used to think that coming from a very fucked up scenario can be a bad thing. But today, after years of experience, I know that it's actually a good thing, because I can put myself in shoes that other people have never even dreamt of, which becomes a major asset, and it's a great tool to have in counseling people. So yeah, and that's all there is. Yeah, guys, nice talking to you, and stay sharp.